I never imagined that a simple family trip could explode into the most humiliating, infuriating day of my life. Jess, my wife, was quietly pumping breast milk for our 4-month-old Liam in the middle of the airport security line when a full-blown entitled HOA Karen in front of us suddenly spun around, pointed at the pump like it was a weapon, and screamed for TSA to arrest us immediately. What unfolded in the next 10 minutes left the entire terminal frozen, Jess in tears, and Karen's face draining of color when security finally turned the tables on her. It was supposed to be a normal December morning at Dallas-Fort Worth. Gate A12, 6:45 a.m. flight to Denver for my sister-in-law's wedding. Just me, Jess, baby Liam in a stroller, and our 2 carry-ons. Jess had been up half the night battling a clogged duct, so she was already drained pale, but trying to stay composed. She's shy about pumping in public, but the pediatrician made it clear. Skip a session and risk mastitis again. So there we were, inching along in the TSA line, when Jess quietly pulled out our little Spectra pump, slipped the flanges under her hoodie like she'd done 100 times before, and kept the motor low so it barely hummed. Totally discreet. No one noticed, except one person. A woman, mid-50s, blonde bob, sharp as a razor, designer tracksuit, sunglasses indoors like she owned the place, had been side-eyeing us from the moment we got behind her. I'd already noticed the attitude, huffing about the line, scowling when someone's bag bumped hers. The full Karen package. But the moment Jess's pump let out that faint whir, Karen whipped around so fast her necklace nearly launched into orbit. "Excuse me," she barked, loud enough for 3 lines of passengers to hear. "That is illegal. You cannot have that obscene device in a public place. Officer. My stomach dropped. Jess froze instantly, face burning, trying to shove everything back into bag, while milk continued flowing. I stepped forward, calm but firm. "Ma'am, it's a medical breast pump. Fully TSA approved." But Karen was already waving her phone like a weapon. "I'm recording this for the news. Exposing yourselves in front of children. Disgusting. Security. She's leaking. She's leaking on the floor." There was no leaking, none at all. But phones were out, stares were piercing, and Jess's eyes brimmed with tears. She turned away, clutching Liam's blanket like a shield. Rage boiled inside me, but I knew yelling would only make things worse for her. 2 TSA agents arrived. One, a large bearded guy. The other, a no-nonsense supervisor named Rodriguez. Karen immediately went full performance mode. "This woman is performing a sexual act right here in line. That machine is vibrating. She's getting off in front of my grandchildren. Confiscate it. Arrest them." The terminal went deathly silent. Jess let out a tiny, broken sound that crushed me. The bearded agent glanced at the pump bag, at Jess trembling, then at Karen, like she completely lost her mind. Rodriguez didn't flinch. She gently took the bag, inspected the Spectra, the bottles, the ice pack, all while Karen kept screeching about indecent exposure and lactation pornography. 30 seconds later, Rodriguez zipped the bag back up and handed it to Jess with a calm. "You're all good, ma'am. Medical devices are always allowed. You may pump anywhere you are legally allowed to breastfeed. Federal law. Go ahead and load your bins." Relief hit me so hard my knees almost buckled. Jess managed a shaky, "Thank you," and started placing our things on the belt, still trying not to cry. Then Rodriguez turned to Karen, voice sharp as ice. "Ma'am, step out of line, please. You're coming with us to secondary screening." Karen's jaw dropped. "Me? I'm the one reporting a crime." Rodriguez didn't blink. Filing a false report and disrupting security is a federal offense. Shoes off, bags on the table. The crowd parted like the Red Sea as 2 more agents escorted a silent, stunned Karen toward the dreaded glass room. Her sunglasses slipped, her smug face gone, replaced by pure panic. And the last thing I heard before we walked through the scanner was her stammering, But I'm Platinum Elite." We got our things. Jess found a quiet corner by the gate, latched Liam for comfort nursing, tears streaming down her cheeks. I held them both, still shaking from the adrenaline, watching as Karen's humiliation unfolded for everyone who had witnessed her meltdown. Karen was now in the secondary screening room, enduring the full pat-down experience. That, however, was only the beginning. What none of us knew, what TSA discovered in her carry-on that even made the stone-faced agents raise their eyebrows, would completely change the situation. We'd barely settled back at Gate A12 when whispers began rippling through the terminal like wildfire. People who had witnessed the chaos were glued to their phones, live tweeting, TikToking, or sharing clips. Someone had already posted a video titled Karen versus breast pump, instant karma. The clip ended right as Rodriguez had told her she was being sent to secondary screening. The comments were brutal, but I wasn't laughing yet. Jess curled into me, hoodie pulled up, quietly sobbing while Liam nursed. Each tiny hiccup from him made my chest tighten. Then I noticed the crowd around the glass secondary room had tripled. Phones raised like they were at a rock concert. Something major was happening. I kissed Jess's forehead and told her I'd grab water. But really, I needed to see the fresh chaos Karen had walked into. I edged closer, keeping behind a pillar to avoid being seen. Karen was standing spread eagle, while a female agent meticulously rifled through her $3,000 Rimowa suitcase as if it owed her money. Every single item was pulled out. Designer pajamas, a full bottle of Chanel No. 5, tiny hotel-sized liquor bottles, the sort people swipe for convenience. Then the agent pulled out something that instantly summoned her supervisor, a clear plastic bag packed with at least 30 blister packs of pills. Not prescription bottles. Loose blister packs, the kind you only see in sketchy overseas pharmacies. The supervisor held one up to the light, frowned, and began counting them aloud. Karen's face drained from red to gray. I couldn't hear everything through the glass, but fragments came through clearly. "Ma'am, these are scheduled for controlled substances." "I have prescriptions," she squealed, "from 3 different doctors in 3 different states, all dated the same week." "That's perfectly legal if you had the original label bottles." "Carrying 180 Xanax, 90 Adderall, and 120 Ambien in loose blister packs? That is very much not legal, ma'am." The waiting area was now openly watching. Someone started slow clapping. Another voice shouted, "How's that lactation pornography charge working out, lady?" Karen tried to snatch the pills back, and an agent immediately cuffed her hands in front of her. The energy in the terminal flipped in a heartbeat. People shifted from filming for laughs to filming for evidence. A teenage girl next to me whispered, "Bro, she's going down." And then Karen completely lost it. She screamed that Jess and I had planted the pills to frame her, calling us degenerate parents who sexualize infants. She literally said those words. The supervisor didn't flinch. Instead, she motioned for airport police, real law enforcement, not TSA. 2 uniformed officers arrived within 60 seconds. I should have walked away right then, but I was rooted to the spot because... Karen locked eyes with me through the glass, and the look she gave was pure venom. She mouthed something I couldn't make out, then jerked her head sharply toward Jess at the gate. My blood ran cold. I sprinted back. Jess was packing the pump away, wiping her face, trying to compose herself. Liam was asleep in the stroller. I grabbed our bags and told her we were moving gates. No explanation, just move. We ended up at A34 at the far end, almost empty. Jess kept asking what was wrong, but I didn't want to alarm her further. 10 minutes later, my phone exploded. The same TikTok that had 8,000 views when we sat down was now at 400,000 and climbing. Someone had stitched the original video with new footage of Karen being walked out in cuffs, pills in an evidence bag, swinging from an officer's hand. Caption, "Update, breast pump Karen was smuggling a pharmacy." Plot twist of the year. Comments flooded in, chronicling everything from reporting a mom feeding her baby to federal drug charges in 15 minutes. People were eating it up. Jess finally saw the clip. Her eyes went wide. Then she started trembling, not crying, just shock. "That's why she freaked out on me," she whispered. She thought I was some undercover agent or something. That's when it clicked for both of us. The second Karen heard the pump's motor, she must have panicked that TSA was already watching her. In her guilt-ridden mind, a young mom with a medical device was clearly a plant. She tried to deflect attention by creating a massive scene, spotlighting us instead. We boarded the plane, just asleep on my shoulder before takeoff, utterly drained. I kept replaying Karen's face as she was cuffed, like the universe had reached down and said, "Not today." But the story wasn't over. 3 hours later, mid-flight over New Mexico, while Liam finally slept in Jess's arms, a figure appeared in the aisle. Lauren, Karen's daughter, the one seated in 12A. Her sharp blonde bob mirrored her mother's, though she looked 20 years younger, mascara-streaked, bloodshot eyes from crying. She clutched a boarding pass tightly, knuckles white. "You don't know what you've done," she hissed. "That was my mother. You destroyed our family." Jess instinctively pulled Liam closer. I stepped forward, blocking her. "Your mother destroyed herself the moment she humiliated my wife for feeding our son. Step back." Lauren's lip quivered. A flight attendant approached, but she raised her hand, stopping them. Then, surprisingly, she sank into the empty seat across the aisle and began sobbing into her sleeves. The truth poured out. Her name was Lauren. The pills weren't for selling. They were for her. She had been cycling through rehab repeatedly over 2 years. Xanax, Adderall, Ambien, anything that kept the panic and darkness at bay. Karen, in desperation, had been doctor shopping, filling scripts under fake names, transporting them in unmarked bags so Lauren could taper safely without insurance finding out. It was illegal, dangerous, but Karen believed it was the only way to protect her daughter. That morning, Lauren begged her mom not to bring the stash. "Mom, just leave it. We'll figure out in Denver." Karen insisted. "What if you have a panic attack on the plane? I'm not losing you." So when she heard Jess's pum-pum, she didn't register as a breast pump. She heard a covert operation, a DEA sting, a trap closing in. In her paranoid, guilt-soaked brain, Jess and I were agents sent to catch her red-handed. Her attack wasn't cruelty. It was a desperate smokescreen to protect Lauren. Jess's face softened as Lauren explained, mascara running down. Lauren wasn't a monster. She was terrified, trying to hold her life together amidst lies, pills, and a mother who saw love as control. Jess reached across the aisle, took Lauren's trembling hand, and said softly, "I'm so sorry. Your mom hurt me, but that's fear, not love." Lauren nodded, crying harder. Karen would be held in Dallas until arraignment. I was flying back alone, unsure how to help her. The captain announced preparations for landing. Lauren stood, wiped her face, and looked at us. "I'm deleting every video. None of this will be posted. You didn't deserve what she did." She walked away before we could respond. We landed in Denver in silence, holding hands until my fingers went numb. Viral views had skyrocketed to 3 million by the time we collected our bags, but the tone had shifted. People pieced together Lauren's story. Comments went from celebration to contemplation. Addiction warps everyone it touches. Prayers went out for both daughter and mother. And the breastfeeding mom? She had done nothing wrong. 3 days later, an email arrived from an unknown address. Subject: "I owe you more than an apology." It was from Karen, writing from Dallas County Jail. She detailed everything. Doctor shopping, panic over Lauren, the split-second decision to humiliate us to save herself. The final paragraph broke me. "I humiliated your wife in front of strangers to save my own skin. No excuse. I've agreed to a plea. Felony possession, mandatory rehab for Lauren, ban from carrying medication for anyone again. Your family's pain gave my daughter a real chance. I hate that it took destroying you to finally save her. I will never forgive myself. If you can ever forgive me, I'll spend my life earning it. I'm sorry is all I have left." Jess read it aloud, steady, then closed the laptop. I hope Lauren makes it. And I hope Karen learns that love doesn't throw others under the bus to protect itself. We never press harassment charges. The federal case was enough. The viral videos faded. Life moved on. But sometimes 3 a.m., while up with Liam and Jess pumped in the dark, I think about those two broken families colliding in a security line, one trying to feed a baby, the other trying not to lose one. And I whisper into the quiet, "Be kind. You never know what battle someone else is fighting." If you enjoyed this story, hit subscribe. Every single subscription motivates me to share more dramatic HOA and family stories. Don't forget the bell icon. More justice, chaos, and satisfying payback coming in the next upload.